Good morning, my lovely first graders. Today, we are going to be talking about, let's read it all together. We can identify what a character is feeling based on what they say. So, who knows what we're going to do today? Good job. So what we're doing is identifying what a character is feeling. And how are we going to do that? We're going to do that based on what they say. So to start off our lesson today, we are going to talk about the 5 senses. Does anybody have any idea on what those senses are or what that means? All right. So the 5 senses are anything that we can sense with our body. So an example is sight. Our pink block is sight. So anything that we can see. So if we were describing how I would see something, how would we describe that? Okay. So maybe it looks bright. Okay. So we could write bright. How about one for hearing? How can we hear something? Maybe loud. Good. So loud. How about smell? How can you describe how something smells? Maybe awful, right? Maybe something's really awful smelling and stinky. How about touch? If you touch something, how can you describe that? Maybe prickly. Good. And how could you describe the taste of something? Maybe sour. Good job, guys. And now, so I want you guys to take 1 to 2 minutes to discuss in your groups another example or maybe a few examples for each of our senses that we just talked about, because we're going to be using those words in just a few minutes with an example from our groups. Alrighty, guys. Good job. Okay, we're going to talk about those words in just a moment, but since our projector is broken today, we can't watch our video that I wanted to show you, but I'm going to make sure to send the link home so that your parents can show it to you at home tonight when you get home. So we are going to do some group work, but first we need to read a little sentence together, okay? So our sentence, listen carefully, I'll read it 2 times so that everybody gets to hear it and we can hear all of it. So let's use our listening ears. Okay, Tom walked down the street with his head down, kicking rocks as he slowly made his way from the park with his soccer ball. All right, let's read it one more time, and I'm going to add in a few more words this time, okay? So let's listen carefully, good listening ears. Tom walked down the street with his head down, kicking rocks as he slowly made his way home from the park with his popped soccer ball. All right, so let's take about 5 or 10 seconds and think about the sentence. Okay? All right, now in your groups, I want you guys to think, what senses did we notice in that sentence about Tom? And what do we think that Tom was feeling? Okay, so I'm going to give you guys 2 or 3 minutes in your groups to talk about what do you think Tom was feeling? Okay. All right, do I need to read the sentence one more time? All right, Tom walked down the street with his head down, kicking rocks as he slowly made his way home from the park with his popped soccer ball. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hang our poster on the wall, and then I'm going to call on each group. All right, so group 1, what do you think that Tom was feeling? Sad? Good. Why do you think he was sad? Because he had a popped soccer ball, right? His ball was popped. All right, group 2. What do you think he was feeling? Okay, you also think he was sad. Why else do you think he was sad? Oh, his head was down while he was walking, right? Good. All right, group 3. What do you think that Tom was feeling? Gloomy. I like that word. Why do you think he was gloomy? Okay, his soccer ball, right? All right, and group 4, what do you think? You think he was sad? Why do you think he was sad? Because his head was down, he was kicking rocks? Good job. All right, so I'm gonna add that right here. So we're gonna say he was kicking rocks. So that kind of tells us that he was sad, right? So do you guys, how did we tell what Tom was feeling? Exactly, we used the words that were said in our story to tell us how Tom was feeling. And what senses did we see in that sentence? His head was down. He was kicking rocks, so that told us that there was a noise, so we could hear the rocks kicking, his head down. To me, it sounded like it would have been a sad, cloudy day with no wind, just quiet and calm. All right. Okay, guys, we have about 5 or 10 minutes until recess time. So really quickly, your exit ticket to go to recess is going to be a sentence. I want you guys to all write a sentence about your morning. But I need you guys to use your 5 senses and your feeling words to show us how you were feeling this morning. I wrote an example, so I'm going to show you guys my example. I jumped out of bed this morning before my alarm and went to my favorite coffee shop for a treat. Who could raise your hand and tell me, what was I feeling this morning? All right, group 1, you guys had your hand up. What do you think? Oh, excited. That's a good word. How did you get excited? Oh, from jumped? Jumped. You're excited. You're going to jump out of bed. Good job. Okay, group 3, what do you guys think? Happy? Good. Because you went to your favorite coffee shop, right? Okay, group 4, what do you guys think? Excited? Good. Why? Why do you guys think I was excited this morning? Oh, a treat. Good job. I'm always excited to go get a treat from my coffee shop. All right, now it's your turn. I want you guys to write your sentence. When you're done, go ahead and call me over and I'll check on your sentences, but bring them to me when the bell rings and then we can go to recess. All right, make sure your name is on the back of those. All right. All righty, welcome back from recess, everybody. Your sentences looked great. I went over them at recess. Lots of feelings this morning, mostly good ones. Hopefully we could turn those bad ones around though. All right, so we're gonna get straight back into it. We're gonna talk again about our feelings and how do we find our feelings and our senses in our stories or our sentences. So really quickly, we're gonna do some review. So I want you to tell your partner what you did at recess and let them guess how you were feeling. All right, so partner 1, you are going to tell your partner what you did at recess. Partner 2, you are going to guess what they were feeling. Okay, I'm gonna set the timer for 2 minutes. and then we're going to switch. All right, good job. So I was walking around, I heard lots of happy feelings. You guys were excited to go play. I heard some kickball and some soccer over here. Sounds like you guys had a really good time at recess. All right, now we get to do a super fun activity. Okay, so I hope you guys are ready to put your thinking caps on and be super creative. We are going to write a short story, okay? So this one is going to be by yourself, though. I don't mind if you guys are talking a little bit and helping each other out with some feeling words and using your senses in your story to help you think of those feeling words, okay? But first, you are going to make up a character. So that character can be, let's try not to use anybody in our class. I want you guys to be a little bit more creative than that, okay? So make up a character. It could be anybody. It could be a cartoon from TV. It could be a superhero from a movie that you watched. But we're going to make up a character. Then we're going to use our senses, see our colorful senses from our chart earlier, to tell us how they're feeling. Okay, so remember, we're looking for those feeling words. We're making up a story, but we have to remember, we have to tell our readers what our characters are feeling. And then, last but not least, what did I say? Be creative. All right, so once you guys are done with that, we're going to do partner checks. You guys are going to switch papers, and we're going to make sure everything is done. Then a quick teacher check. Then you guys are going to get on your tablets and you guys are going to type your short story and hang it on our writing wall. Alrighty? So, really quickly before we start our writing, what was our we can sentence for today? We can identify what a character is feeling based on what they say. Alrighty, so remember, we need to see what your character is feeling based on what they say in your short story. Alrighty, guys, let's go ahead and get to work.